Library in Canton, Ohio at the National First Ladies Library and Historic Site. We want to welcome you all to our virtual film discussion today. I also want to thank the Stark Library, who has been great in collaborating with us, and our hope is that we'll continue to do this once a month and make films accessible that have female-centered themes and continue to discuss them on a monthly basis. So last month, you probably caught our Wonder Woman film, and this month we are screening She Did That. So if you're just tuning in on Facebook Live, there's still a chance to watch the film. You can go to the link that we'll add later in the chat to our Eventbrite page, where you can register for information to access that film and watch it after the fact, and it will be continuously available through the rest of the month. I do want to mention some other upcoming programs at the site in case you're interested. If you've just popped in, there was a few slides up on the screen indicating some of the activities. So our legacy lecture coming up next week is with Kim Kenny of the McKinley Museum, and she's going to be talking about her new book, Murder and Mayhem in Stark County. We also have another film screening that will happen next month related to women in film. And we're going to be talking to Britt Cherrick from the Bechtel Fest, which is a woman-centered film fest that takes place once a year in Akron, Ohio. So we're really excited about that. There are a number of different activities that are going on virtually, as well as exhibitions at our site. So as we're all gearing up to go to the polls and vote, we have some really amazing exhibitions at our site. One relates to First Ladies and the campaign trail. So there's all sorts of memorabilia, from pins to dresses related to First Ladies. We also have a small exhibition about women who have run for president, from Hillary Clinton to Shirley Chisholm, women who have attempted to break that glass ceiling. So please stop by if you're local and in the area and check out those exhibitions at our education center. We're really excited about that. And without further ado, I want to introduce our program today. So I also wanted to thank the Canton Girl Gang, a local group that promotes women entrepreneurs, and they connected us with our speakers today, Corey and Whitney, who I'm going to introduce as they pop on the video today. So what the film She Did That offers an intimate peek inside the lives of Black women entrepreneurs who continuously raise the glass ceiling for future generations. There are approximately 1.9 million Black women-owned firms that employ over 376,000 staffers and generate $51.4 billion in total revenues. What drives Black women to turn their obstacles into opportunities and passion into profit? The film She Did That seeks to answer this question with the goal of inspiring the next generation of change agents. And it featured some important Black women entrepreneurs, from Luvvie Ajayi, who has a great Instagram account that I've been following. She's a New York Times bestselling author, a speaker, and a digital strategist. Lisa Price, the founder of Carol's Daughter. Melissa Butler, the founder of the Lip Bar. If you're a Shark Tank fan, you might have seen her featured on Shark Tank. Tonya Rapley, the founder of Fab Finance. But today, I want to introduce you to two local women. Whitney Prather has over 10 years has run Yokefellow Creative, which helps organizations share their brands with consumers and shapes programs, products, services, and events. She's worked closely with companies to bring their stories to life through print, web, video, and advertising. Whitney specializes in brand development, digital marketing, and events. She's the founder and creative director of Yokefellow Creative, a boutique brand agency in Canton, Ohio. She received her BA in communications from Malone University, and Whitney and her husband Eldridge live in Canton with their 5-year-old daughter, Rayne. Corey Minor Smith is an attorney and a thought leader in the social justice space with a primary focus on mental health and wellness advocacy in communities across the nation. Smith produces radio roundtable conversations to discuss ways to reduce the stigma associated with mental illness. She has served as a keynote speaker at numerous national and international gatherings. She's also written articles for blogs and online magazines, in addition to her highly celebrated debut book, #Driven. Smith earned a bachelor's degree of arts in English and a master's degree in education in guidance and counseling from Bowling Green State University. She then earned her Juris Doctorate from the University of Toledo College of Law. In addition to being a member of the Ohio and Georgia bars, Smith is also licensed to practice before the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of Ohio. Currently, Smith serves as general counsel for Stark Metropolitan Housing Authority, of which she was once a resident. Smith also served as Canton City Council at Large member after receiving the most votes out of 5 other candidates. She is the very first African American to ever be elected to a citywide position in Canton, Ohio. So ladies, I want to welcome you both here to our program today. We are super excited to have you. And I hope that I both did you justice in those introductions. But as we open, if there's anything that I missed or anything you want to mention, please do.
You did me too much justice, actually. I have not been doing Yokefellow for 10 years. I started in 2018, but I've had 12 years of experience. So thank you, though.
So one of the things I loved about the film was that it started as a historic site. We talk about women in history, and it opens up mentioning some of the important women like C.J. Walker, Oprah, and then some lesser known women in business like Maggie Lena Walker, who was one of the earliest African American women to run a bank, Sarah Goody, the first to hold a patent, and Clara Brown, who was born a slave and opened her own chain of laundry businesses. I wondered that if you could please speak to some of the women who inspired you and your journeys.
Well, all of those ladies are inspirational. And I think anyone in our community or in our families who just take the leap to do something on their own and to go after their passion are inspirations for us. But for me specifically, I think as you read, I thought about Miss Wilma Lipkins, who's now deceased, but she was instrumental for a lot of hairdressers, cosmetologists, salon owners who are currently still in business here in Stark County. And then just nationally, those that you have mentioned have historically helped us to know that it is possible to reach our dreams, to reach our goals despite our gender, and in many cases, despite our color or race.
Yeah, and for me, I felt like many of those women were super inspiring. A lot of them I already follow. Myleik, Luvvie, I subscribe to their podcasts, have been subscribed to them for years. I'm a part of their community. But as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about the people who have impacted me locally. Those are our moms, our sisters, our aunts. And I was reflecting on this question and I've been so inspired by my own mother. I mean, she's a single, I was a single parent to 2 girls, and we're both well. And she often makes comments to us about how proud she is. But I think about her experience, a lot of times when you have a lot of stress on you, you can be like just rushed and hustle and bustle. And as a mother, I feel that, but she managed to do so with so much fun and laughter. And she just infused so many great things into our childhood. And then I also think about my grandmother, her mom. She'll be 90 years old in January. And she was one of the first African-American teachers in Canton City Schools, teaching at Canton McKinley. They kind of went back and forth on even giving her the position. So just hearing her stories of professionalism, that's really inspiring. And then also Corey Minor Smith is such an inspiration to me. Just her story is gold. And I think anybody who has a story like hers, you know, I don't know, you could be walking around not as successful. And I just really appreciate what she does for this community as well. So lots of inspiration.
Thank you, Whitney.
You're welcome.
So you already mentioned, Whitney, some of the women that were profiled in the film. Corey, are there ones that you directly connected with as you were watching?
Oh, absolutely. Like Lisa Price and Melissa Butler, I use their products. I was really excited to order from the Lip Bar. It was my first online purchase for lip products. And also Renee Blout, who I believe was one of the producers or is the producer, executive producer of the documentary. I was just inspired by her because, and Melissa, they're younger and it's like they got it early, the spirit of entrepreneurialism and just wanting to go after their passion. And you mentioned Shark Tank. That was not necessarily a positive experience for Melissa. And I'm glad that she talks about it and she used that experience, although negative, and to propel her forward and to help her to reach her goals with her business. And it's expanding. A lot of people follow it and purchase the products. I know when I first found out about her products, I asked my best friend because she shops a lot. And when she tried to order, things were sold out. So I was just very proud of Melissa and what she's built, as well as the other ladies that are featured in the film.
You mentioned just a second ago some of the challenges that women may face, and especially minorities. And we're at a time when COVID-19 is really wreaking havoc even more on women and minorities in the workplace. I'm wondering if you can talk about challenges that you've faced in launching your career or throughout your career.
Wow, there are a lot of challenges. First of all, just knowing what's possible for a career. Unfortunately, a lot of children don't even know options that may be available to them. They may be confined in their thinking and just hopes to just what's before them in their neighborhoods. And many times we're in disadvantaged neighborhoods where we don't see opportunities. So I think it's important for us to have those experiences and then to overcome any obstacles that we may face. There's great organizations like the Stark County Minority Business Association that has just provided up-to-date information regarding grants and loans that are available to help businesses to survive through this time that we're in right now, an unprecedented time actually. So obstacles are gonna come regardless if we're successful, if we're climbing our way to the top, and we just have to learn how to manage them and rely on our support systems. It may not always be family, but definitely knowing the community resources that are available.
And for me, I have had a lot of meaningful experiences in my career. And even if they're challenging, I think that they make for really great stories. So I really resonate deeply with what Renee shared in the film. She began talking about the plentiful contributions of Black women, and still there's a feeling of inequity. And I've been in those situations and I know exactly what that feels like, to feel like you've contributed, but still you kind of have an empty hand in that situation. So her intro really talked about how Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. And I think that that is so inspiring, but please know that there is a story there. Behind the scenes, there is rejection, failure, and the like. And you know, I have definitely felt that as I'm building my, career in Stark County. And I also will say that building my business, there's challenges that, I've experienced as well. And that is just, first of all, being so excited, but then feeling so inadequate. And then also just this feeling of feeling like you have to be an expert at everything. You know, I really enjoy working. I enjoy tinkering. I like to learn how things are put together. So it's super easy for me to get in there, and just kind of stepping back and adapting a new mindset is something that I need to do.
Whitney, you mentioned inferiority complex, and I keep thinking of imposter syndrome, some of the other things that women really face in the workplace. And one of the things the film mentioned was the superhero complex that Black women are faced with, that you can do everything, that you can balance everything. They even brought up the fact that minorities, especially women in healthcare, are not trusted by doctors and treated for pain as much as white women or men are, which was a really shocking statistic to me. So how do you deal with that superhero complex? How do you balance that?
That is such a good question. And I think if I knew, I think that would be the $1 million, question and answer. So I think there was just a problem. I grew up with really strong women who did do it all. They worked, even if they were single parents, I can look back at my grandma and just wonder exactly, like, how did she get everything done? My grandfather was an engineer, an Army person, and a Marine, and he expected her to do things in a certain way. He expected the house to be clean and dinner to be done, but she was a teacher. She had 3 kids. She was deeply involved in this community. So as I reflect back on my upbringing in her household, I lived with my mom, but it was always with my grandma. I'm like, how was the house clean? So I don't know how they do it all, but I've definitely have just been trying to get things done as well. I believe in having a system. It's my goal to have a cleaning service. I want to shed that mindset of us doing it all. I believe in meal kits. HelloFresh has been bae. So, I really appreciate that I can cook a meal in 30 minutes and it be delicious. And then also saying no, like, and saying no, but maybe next year. I just recently got an opportunity to entertain sitting on a board, and I really want to, but my answer was no. How about 2021, 2022? So I think that's kind of how you manage.
Yes.
So Corey, how do you manage that superhero complex, and how do you say no? I need tips on how to say no to things.
Actually, Whitney has given me some great advice in our personal conversations, and really learning from this film as well. No is a complete sentence. Many times we accept things to prove ourselves to other people, or perhaps it's feeding our ego because we are wanted by somebody to do something. And many of us are just serving that need for ourselves because we are doers, but we cannot do it all. And even if we feel we can and may have the time to, we should not do it all. We have to give time for ourselves, self-care, and that's not necessarily going to the spa or yoga or anything like that. It's just resting or doing things that you appreciate and feel good about. So it's important for us to understand that we don't have to. I went through this period, especially when Alicia Keys' song was out, Superwoman. And so I bought all these t-shirts that had the S on the chest because I was just proud to be a superwoman. But we sometimes have to take off the cape. Sometimes we need the help. We need the support and encouragement to keep going. And I feel we need to be open to receiving that just as much as we want to give it to other people.
And self-care has been such a buzzword, and you brought it up, and it's something that we were talking about as we were planning this event. So beyond the bubble baths and everything else, what do you do for self-care?
Lay in the bed. I'm so proud of myself. I have a Netflix account now, and I'm just the pleasure of navigating through Netflix, learning how to find things on Netflix and just chilling out, not worried about the phone, who's texting, who's DMing, returning emails, just taking a moment to just chill out. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be going to the spa. It can just be relaxing, your own time, nothing on your calendar, and enjoying that moment, being in the moment versus having your head full of things that you have to do. Mindful versus mindful.
Okay, you guys. For me, it does include the spa. I need to go there. And I just recently started going there once a month. So I'm feeling real like amazing. But I think what that points out, what that illustrates is that you just have to do what replenishes you. So, I know people who don't like massages and I'm like, what? But anyway, so my answer is two-pronged. Definitely taking trips to the spa. I don't know if I'm going to be able to maintain this monthly thing, but it feels good right now. And then also I am a thinker. I display extreme extrovert characteristics, but I am more inward. So in a world full of go, 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 I like to really offer myself guilt-free time to just think and relax and be quiet. And like you said, Corey, lay in the bed. That's so important for me. And then I also agree with my leak in the film when she said, you need to put up some healthy boundaries. And I think that's when they started going into that conversation of no. But yeah, that's what I enjoy.
So the film also talks about relationships and supportive partners, whether they're mates, whether they're family members. Who are the cheerleaders in your lives?
Wow. I have a friend and friends, but one in particular that we've been friends since second grade. And so we have been a part of each other's lives through the ups and downs, deaths, taking care of parents, all that stuff. And it's not that we talk every day or talk frequently, but she always has something to say positive that keeps me on track at the right time, not even knowing that I might be off track at the time. But having someone like that in your life, whether it's a relative, your partner, spouse, or even your child, can be instrumental in keeping you going forward. I remember my son, my oldest son, he's now 24. When he was 10 years old, he said, "Mom, I think God put me on this earth to help you relax." And that has stayed with me like forever. Whenever I'm feeling rushed or feeling like I'm just have to do all these different things that I want to do in life and each day, I think about those times that time that he said that and know that I also need to relax. And it's a constant reminder for me. But having supportive people, because you're going to have the people that will hate you or hate against you, have something negative to say, and you need those people that are in your circle to help offset any of the negative that you're surely going to hear as you try to climb forward. Even Lisa Price, in talking about Carol's daughter, she mentions how people thought that she was like selling out because she went to the bigger company, or that she was financially unable to manage Carol's daughter and take it to the next level. But that's because a lot of people lack the information needed or to know how business really works and how working with a bigger company can grow your business, especially when you still have a seat at the table. So it's important to make sure you have trusted individuals who are there for you. You are there for them. Give and take, not just takers in your life, that can help you propel forward, and you also help them to propel forward.
Nice. Well, my whole family is super supportive to me, and I really appreciate that. But my husband is on a complete different level. He is like so incredibly geeked about the opportunities that I have, and he's just there. So we have a daughter, and if schedules need to be swapped, he is so down. And he doesn't present any obstacles for me. And in fact, if there is an obstacle, Eldridge is going to mow that thing down. So I really appreciate I really appreciate him, because I know that that's not always the case to have a really supportive spouse.
So there's been a lot of talk lately, given the political climate and protests related to race and identity issues. So thinking about, we've talked about family, but what can people watching, whether they're looking to support Black women entrepreneurs, supporting Black women who who may be their coworkers, what can we do to be supportive of you all?
Wow. You mentioned Canton Girl Gang, and I just want to give a shout out to Angela, the Canton Girl Gang. They have just taken charge and taken leadership and being an ally, wanting to be an ally, wanting to know what they can do to help. And I appreciate the question from you as well. But a lot of times, people of color, I know for sure I did not know about the importance of having a sponsor, a mentor, individuals who can advocate for you. And now, this word that's trending for years now, but really right now with this global protest phase that we're in, but having an ally and what allyship really means, and those who are willing to take accountability, not because they were directly involved with slavery or Jim Crow or segregation, but they understand and know the impact that it still has today in 2020 and going into 2021. So individuals who, find themselves in the position that a part of their personal reparations that they want to share with others is taking charge and creating opportunities or helping individuals, women of color, Black women, to see opportunities that they may not even know about, recommend them for opportunities, just being that voice when Black women are not in the room. So it's important to have those individuals there. You may not think, well, what could I do? Or you may think, what can I do? But thinking along that lines of what can you do? It's not always some big grand gesture. Sometimes it's just you have that moment to make a recommendation, and you can make a recommendation on behalf of a Black woman who would not know about that opportunity in any other way.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think it's just time for us to challenge ourselves in this very challenging time. So whether you're a teacher, maybe you can think about how you can incorporate books of where there's a African-American lead in that book. Whether you're in the corporate room, is there someone, like Corey said, that you could sponsor? If you're not in a position of power, yes, how can you ally? Later, or in the middle of October, I'm going to be doing another webinar where we're going to be discussing allyship, and it features a speaker who is Caucasian, and she's going to be talking about how social media can help. Your company's social media can help uncover how you can be that ally. So I just think it's you looking at yourself and just asking that question, what can I do? But then answering that question and putting a timeline on it. Like, hey, this year I am going to befriend someone. Because I think what's happening is that people, a lot of what I've heard is that people may not know other people of different races. And it's like, what does that look like if you build community with them? What does that look like if you invited them over, outside because of COVID? But, what does it look like if you took did something like just, it boils down to me to kindness. So just be kind. I don't know, be kind.
And authentic with it, organically allow relationships to happen. It doesn't have to be forced and, oh my God, I got to get a Black friend, or, not that way at all. And
that would be weird.
Right. But some people feel they're in that position, they're starting to take a moment to be introspective and, wow, I don't have any Black friends. And so I would say, take that a step further and say, why is that? How are you limiting yourself? What circles are you in, places that you frequent? It's not impossible. It's very possible, and it can happen organically.
Thank you.
But I'm so refreshed by the interest. Corey, I don't know how you feel. I think there's been so many experiences where in our community, we've talked about these issues. And I just think this year, there was, because of COVID, because we were all on our phones, there was a light shown. And I feel like so many people have woken up to allyship and what that looks like for them. And I personally have been refreshed by it. So I'm grateful for, like you said, the Canton Girl Gang and Angela. I'm grateful for you, Allison, and for the library and the Historic Society, the Historic Women's Society, just taking this step because it's really, really important.
So another organization or business that was profiled in the film was called Sassy Tots, and it was created by a young girl. And I really loved watching that and just seeing what she was creating. And I wondered, how can we inspire kids of all backgrounds to think about entrepreneurship and their futures in a new way? What are you doing, and what do you recommend that we can do better?
Wow, right here in Stark County, we have She Elevates with Dolores Presley, and the target audience are young ladies and helping them to become entrepreneurs. A lot of our children, I think, are stifled at a very early age. Don't do that, color inside the lines. It really limits creativity. But if we give a child a moment to just explore, whether it's the Play-Doh or drawing, whatever it is, we can see their creativity and help them to develop it, to know that they're not too young to start a business. The young lady that started the lemonade company, I can't remember her name right now, but just there have been children who have built successful businesses just because it's something that they're interested in. And again, that the importance of having support and encouragement to let them know that they can turn it into a business, barbecue sauce, backpacks, whatever it is, and turning that into a business. So I just, seeing the two little sisters and their little clothing line, it just helped to know that you're not too young to start with whatever you have a passion about.
I really love this segment too. And I love the beginning of it. I loved how they introduced their company name together in unison. And I kept on saying Sassy Tots. So I thought it was like so cute. And I think they were beautiful. And I really love their mom's approach, to their creativity, given their age. There was no pressure. And like you said, Corey, color outside the lines, do it when you feel like it. When you're a kid, you don't have to succumb to deadlines. There's no stress. So, I think we inspire our young children today by being active. There are so many opportunities to be a mentor. I mentor a little girl at Gibbs, and last Christmas it opened up a avenue for me to be able to help her whole class with Christmas gifts. So it was so rewarding for me and for my family and for my friends who participated in that. And like Corey said, I will echo, She Elevates, the local organization led by Dolores Presley. Anytime Dolores asked me to be a shero and speak to their teenagers, it's 8 to 14, I think. Anytime she asks me, I will definitely do it. And so I just think it's, looking around and seeing how you can get involved, because it's easy to just get so busy and do what you have to do. But Corey, I don't know if you remember, I remember being a third grader, and anytime there was a guest coming into class, we all kind of perked up and we were excited. And I can always remember, I don't remember her name though, a news anchor came in, and she was a Black news anchor who came in from like Cleveland, but I don't remember her name. But anyway, when she came, we held a class assembly at Bellstone Elementary in Canton City. And I just remember being like, just like, so like, look at her. She came in a red suit. I don't remember her name, but I do remember her look. And so I just, that's really inspiring. And when I go into schools, how the kids look up at you, it's so rewarding because you can see yourself in that. So.
Another woman who was profiled in the film was Jessica Matthews. She's the CEO of Uncharted Power. And she is an inventor and a venture capitalist. And I know there's been a lot of talk around tech and the tech world and women and minorities. And she emphasized that 0.04 startups are run by women of color. 26 Black women who have ever raised more than $1 million for tech startups. So only 26 Black women. So those stats were kind of shocking, but not really surprising given that it's pretty much a men's club. What do you see as some of the uncharted territories for Black women in entrepreneurship? What is next and what does the future look like?
Wow. I'm just in awe about recent stories of Black women who are in the construction business and making it over the multi-million-dollar mark with their construction business, real estate. There's just so many avenues, and to see women excel in that, especially Black women, again, you are open to seeing the possibility of it happening. And even if it's not your specific interest of industry of which you have an interest, it lets you know that it is possible. It is possible to pursue what you're interested in and help encourage you to find people who are in that industry that can help you to navigate, what's necessary to start your business and be successful in your business. And all the while knowing that you will face challenges and preparing yourself to meet those challenges and to continue on.
Yeah, there's so many uncharted territories. And I think, Corey, you mentioned earlier to find a sponsor. And I will just say, if you're going into these territories, find someone that you can really look up to, it doesn't matter. Find someone who has the knowledge. And I like what she said. She said, you just have to build it. There's not a table, build the table. So I'm so inspired by that.
So thinking of tech and venture capitalism, social media, how has social media changed the way you think about your identity and your businesses and your careers? And if people want to connect with you on social media, whether I know Whitney has a pretty big Instagram that I've looked at for updates, how can they do that?
Yeah, so social media is such a thing. As we are moving forward, you can just expect that, people are going to be living online. Obviously, I would say save some good things for your private life, but yeah, as we move forward, there's just going to be more of the same. People living online live. So yeah, I think it's an amazing tool. I think it is something that if you have something that you're passionate about and you want to showcase, you can definitely do it. So yeah, I'm on everything. I am kind of even on TikTok, so a little bit. My @ symbol is I'm Whitney Prather on Twitter and on Instagram, and then LinkedIn, I think it's just Whitney Prather.
Well, I have to give kudos to Whitney because she has helped me a lot in regards to social media, as well as my oldest son who tells me I need to get things together. But learning to navigate and to use in a positive way, social media has been a great outlet for me, especially with my mental health advocacy and helping to reduce the stigma associated with mental health. I didn't see a value in Facebook long ago when I first was introduced to it. But now I see how it can be a platform, as well as Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter, to get positive information out. We have enough negative stuff going around on the media, and it can be our part, if we so choose, to help spread good news, to help spread positivity, to help spread encouragement, to lift people up, especially in this time, because again, this is an unprecedented time. People are isolated away from family. Unfortunately, individuals have died and couldn't have a traditional burial or memorial service for them. And so it's just an opportunity also to stay connected with family and friends, even though you may not be able to physically be in each other's presence. So I truly have found value in social media and encourage people to use it in a positive way and to help to just lift each other up and move forward. My Instagram and Facebook and different things are at Corey Empowers, and also by my name, Corey Minor Smith. So I welcome people to follow and to, share the information that they find may be helpful to others in the community, because it's important for us to share positive information.
Ladies, is there anything else you want to plug today? Any upcoming projects that you want to drop here on the discussion, or anything else you want to mention before we wrap things up?
I really want to encourage people to check out Whitney and the services that she provides. She is great. She has helped my efforts tremendously and helping me to, I wanted to kind of, relax and have a more relaxed presence. And Whitney has really helped me to do that in a different, outside of my legal capacity, where it's more formal, more conservative. And so I just encourage people to check out WhitneyPrather.com.
It's Yokefellow Creative.
And
thank you.
Yes.
I will say that it's YokefellowCreative.com, and I think this conversation is so beautiful and so great, and I really enjoyed doing it with you, Corey. And I had so much fun working on your brand, and you made it fun and enjoyable. So thank you for that. And just Allison, I really appreciate everything that you've offered. I would love to engage with anyone who's watching right now. I want them to make sure that they follow us and maybe slide into our DMs and tell us that you watched today.
Yeah. And love to take the questions. It looks like there's some things in the chat. And also I just want to share Whitney, because I don't even know if she expanded into book covers, but Whitney's company also designed my book cover for #Driven. So I just really enjoy her services. I really enjoy that she helps me to bring it down a little bit. I don't like make New Year's resolutions. So I say, my goals or whatever for the year. But one of them was to like bring it down a little bit, because I feel like I'm like on 100 all the time. And I said I was going to try to bring it down to 10. But Whitney has really helped me to do that and understand the importance of balancing things, as well as pursuing passion and goals and interests to help the broader community. And so I really see that in Yokefellow, as well as what Yokefellow is helping Corey Empowers to do.
Girl, I feel the love. Thank you so much. And before we end, we should do that thing that they did where they were like, she did that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Well,
she did that.
She did that.
Yes. Allison, did you know you were going to get all this today?
This is wonderful. This is really great. I'm kind of newish to Canton, so I've been trying to get out there and connect with people, and COVID kind of ruined that for me. So I am really happy to be Zooming with people, new faces for me today. So I really appreciate that. Corey, where can we find your book? I know there's a question in the chat. Where is the best place to buy it?
The book is available on Amazon. If you would like a personal autographed copy, you can contact me at CMS@CoreyEmpowers.com. And just thank you to all who joined us today. I see there are some chats, Charlotte and Von Seal and Jennifer. Thank you for your comments. And
somebody said, Corey, somebody said, I feel we need weekly Corey and Whitney talks. Yes.
Yes.
Let's come back.
Fire a weekly Zoom for you all that you will share, or some kind of podcast. I would be really touched. That would be
they agree. Oh my gosh, Corey, I think we need to do a podcast together.
Okay. I'm down. Tell us the topics that you all want to talk about, and Whitney and I will put this together for you. Oh, and I see Von Seal mentioned 2 young girls with a trucking industry. That's a very untouched untapped industry as well for women, for sure.
And there's a BGSU alum in there too.
Falcons, Biggie Zumba.
Yeah. So that I just want to plug Bowling Green. We have an upcoming talk in November with Bowling Green's pop culture library.
Oh, okay.
We're getting an online tour of their political pin collection. So if you're a Bowling Green alumni and you're connecting to Corey, you might want to pop back on to National First Ladies Library site and attend that as well.
Yeah. I'm on the alumni board also for Bowling Green State University. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. And Stephanie, your idea is great. And I see Joy Ellis as a recommendation. So Whitney, we already have our first guest perhaps for the conversations that we will look into continuing.
Oh, she did that, Stephanie.
Well, ladies, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I've really had a great time today. Thank you so much for joining us for our discussion of She Did That.
Yes.
Again and again in the discussion here. And we want to thank you as our local sheroes and encourage people to check out Whitney and Corey on social media, follow them, and connect with the National First Ladies Library and Historic Site. And also thank Canton Girl Gang and Stark Library. So thanks so much, ladies, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you. And thank you to all the organizations you named first, the National First Ladies Library, as well as Stark County District Library and Canton Girl Gang. Really appreciate the recommendation, Angela. Thank you very much. And Allison, it was a pleasure working with you. Thank you for all the updates and just the whole organization and professionalism that you exhibited throughout this process. Thanks.
Thank you, gals. Thank you. And I hope to see you in person one day.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen, Allison, for sure.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.